They can smell your vulnerability from across the room. Right now, as you sit watching this video, there's someone studying you, analyzing your body language, cataloging your weaknesses, planning their approach. They move through crowds like skilled hunters, their eyes scanning for that perfect target. And once they've locked onto you, the hunt begins. This isn't about animals stalking prey in the African savannah. This is about human predators walking among us every single day. In your office, at your gym, on dating apps, even in your family. They've perfected the art of psychological hunting over centuries, and their success rate is terrifying. Welcome to the Predator's Guide to Human Hunting. Today, I'll reveal the exact playbook they use to select, capture, and destroy their victims. You'll learn to think like a predator so you can protect yourself from becoming prey, because understanding how they hunt is the only way to avoid being hunted. Let me introduce you to the master of human hunting psychology, Niccolò Machiavelli. In 1513, this Italian political theorist wrote the ultimate predator's manual. The prince, Machiavelli, understood something terrifying about human nature, that some people are natural-born hunters who see others as resources to be exploited. His famous quote reveals everything. Since love and fear can hardly exist together, if we must choose between them, it is far safer to be feared than loved. This wasn't moral philosophy. This was a hunting manual. Machiavelli observed how successful rulers dominated others through calculated manipulation, strategic deception, and psychological control. He documented the exact methods they used to identify weakness, exploit trust, and maintain power over their victims. 500 years later, human predators still use his blueprint. But Machiavelli only described political hunting. Modern psychological predators have evolved far beyond his wildest imagination. They've weaponized psychology, neuroscience, and technology to become the most efficient human hunters in history. They operate in romantic relationships, corporate environments, family systems, and online spaces. They're everywhere, and they're getting better. The hunt always begins with selection. Like any skilled predator, they don't waste energy on difficult targets. They seek specific prey characteristics that guarantee success. Their victim radar operates on multiple frequencies, scanning for psychological, emotional, and social vulnerabilities. First, they hunt for emotional instability. Recent breakups, job losses, family deaths, major life transitions. These create emotional chaos that makes people desperate for connection and stability. A predator can spot emotional wounds from incredible distances. They see how you hold your shoulders when you're stressed, how your voice changes when you mention painful topics, how your eyes search for validation when you speak. Emotional pain creates psychological hunger, and hungry people make poor decisions. Second, they target social isolation. People without strong support networks become ideal victims because there's no one to provide reality checks or intervention. They identify people who've recently moved cities, changed jobs, or experienced social rejection. Isolated people feel invisible and become grateful for any attention. The predator positions themselves as the answer to loneliness, the person who finally sees and understands their target. Third, they hunt for low self-esteem and people-pleasing tendencies. Individuals who constantly seek approval, apologize excessively, or struggle to say no telegraph their exploitability. Predators test boundaries early, small requests, minor boundary violations, subtle disrespect. If you comply, apologize, or make excuses for their behavior, you've identified yourself as compliant prey. Fourth, they seek empathetic and compassionate personalities. This seems counterintuitive, but empaths make perfect victims because they automatically excuse bad behavior, make allowances for difficult childhoods, and believe everyone deserves love and understanding. Predators exploit this compassion ruthlessly, presenting themselves as wounded souls who need healing. Fifth, they target financial vulnerability or material insecurity. People struggling financially become dependent on anyone offering security. Predators use money, career opportunities, or lifestyle upgrades as bait. They identify people desperate for advancement, stability, or escape from difficult circumstances. The most sophisticated predators hunt in specific environments where vulnerable people congregate. Dating apps provide endless hunting grounds. Recently divorced individuals seeking companionship, people with low self-esteem hoping to find validation, emotionally wounded souls looking for healing through romance. Support groups offer perfect hunting conditions. Trauma survivors, addiction recovery participants, grief counselors. Professional environments create power imbalances that predators exploit. Job interviews, mentorship programs, networking events. But modern predators have discovered the ultimate hunting ground: social media. Your online presence reveals everything they need to know: your relationship status, recent travels, family dynamics, political opinions, emotional struggles, financial situation, all displayed publicly for predator analysis. They study your posts for months before making contact, building comprehensive psychological profiles that ensure hunting success. Once they've selected their prey, the approach phase begins. This is where Machiavelli's principles prove most valuable. He understood that successful manipulation requires appearing to offer exactly what the target desires most. The predator's initial approach never feels like hunting, it feels like salvation. They begin with what I call divine timing, appearing exactly when you need them most. Having a terrible day, they message with perfect sympathy, celebrating an achievement. They're the first to offer enthusiastic congratulation. Feeling lonely, they suggest spontaneous coffee meetings. This timing isn't coincidence, it's calculated observation and strategic intervention. Their opening moves employ excessive charm and instant intimacy. They shower you with attention that feels intoxicating after periods of neglect or loneliness. They remember every detail you mention, follow up on casual comments, and demonstrate interest levels that seem almost too good to be true, because they are. The love-bombing phase overwhelms your emotional defenses. Constant texting, unexpected gifts, romantic gestures, declarations of amazing connection. They create artificial intimacy through shared secrets, late-night conversations, and emotional vulnerability that feels profound but is actually calculated. They mirror your values, interests, and dreams perfectly. Not because you're soulmates, but because they're reflecting your own words back to you. During this phase, they conduct intensive information gathering, disguised as getting to know you. They ask probing questions about your past relationships, family dynamics, career frustrations, financial situation, fears, and insecurities. Every answer gets catalogued for future exploitation. They're building a psychological map of your vulnerabilities while you think you're just sharing your life with someone who cares. The grooming process includes testing your boundaries systematically. Small violations first, showing up unannounced, making decisions without consulting you, subtle criticisms disguised as jokes, forgetting things that are important to you. Your responses teach them exactly how much disrespect you'll tolerate. If you protest, they apologize charmingly and promise to do better. If you stay silent, they escalate gradually. They begin isolating you from support systems through a process so subtle you don't recognize it happening. They express concern about friends who don't understand you, family members who don't appreciate you, or activities that waste your time. They create drama around social events, manufacture conflicts with people close to you, or schedule romantic activities that conflict with existing commitments. Gradually, your world shrinks until they become your primary source of social interaction. The most insidious aspect involves creating addiction to their attention. They intermittent reinforcement schedule. Intense connection followed by mysterious distance, passionate declarations followed by emotional withdrawal, overwhelming presence followed by confusing absence. This creates psychological addiction stronger than substance dependency. Your brain begins craving their approval like a drug, and withdrawal feels genuinely painful. Once they've established psychological control, the true predator emerges. The person who seemed perfect reveals their authentic nature gradually. The charm becomes conditional, available only when you please them. The attention becomes scarce, rationed based on your compliance. The love becomes transactional, earned through surrender of autonomy. They begin reality distortion through systematic gaslighting. They deny conversations that definitely happened, claim to have said things they never said, and insist your memory is unreliable. They rewrite shared history to position themselves as the reasonable party and you as the unstable one. Your perception of reality becomes dependent on their validation, which they control completely. Emotional manipulation escalates through deliberate psychological destabilization. They create artificial crises that require your immediate attention, manufacture emergencies that interrupt your other activities, and generate drama that keeps you emotionally reactive and unable to think clearly. Chaos becomes your normal state, making it impossible to evaluate the relationship objectively. They destroy your self-esteem through systematic devaluation disguised as honesty or helping you improve. They criticize your appearance, intelligence, career choices, family relationships, and personal decisions. But they frame these attacks as concern for your well-being or desire to help you reach your potential. They convince you that their criticism comes from love, not cruelty. Financial control often develops through seemingly generous offers. They pay for expenses, make major purchases for you, or offer to manage your money more efficiently. Once you depend on their financial support, they use it as leverage to control your choices. Leaving becomes financially impossible, which was always their intention. The feeding phase represents the predator's ultimate goal, extracting whatever they need from you while providing nothing genuine in return. Different predators feed on different resources. Narcissistic predators feed on admiration, worship, and validation of their superiority. Psychopathic predators feed on control, domination, and the pleasure of causing suffering. Machiavellian predators feed on power, status, and strategic advantage. They maintain control through carefully orchestrated cycles of punishment and reward. When you comply with their demands, you receive intermittent positive reinforcement, just enough to keep you hoping for more. When you resist, you face emotional punishment designed to break your will. They withdraw affection, create guilt, manufacture crises, or threaten abandonment until you surrender. The devaluation process systematically destroys everything that made you attractive initially. Your confidence becomes arrogance, your independence becomes selfishness, your opinions become arguments, your friends become bad influences, your interests become wastes of time. They reshape your entire identity around serving their needs while convincing you this transformation represents personal growth. Most victims don't recognize the destruction until it's nearly complete. The changes happen gradually, justified incrementally, normalized progressively. You wake up one day and realize you no longer recognize yourself. Your passions have disappeared, your relationships have withered, your confidence has evaporated, and your reality has been completely rewritten by someone else's agenda. Recovery from predator hunting can take years because the damage goes beyond surface wounds. They alter your basic capacity to trust your own perceptions, make independent decisions, and form healthy relationships. Many survivors struggle with decision-making long after escape because their predator conditioned them to seek external validation for every choice. But understanding how they hunt provides powerful protection. Predators succeed through invisibility. They rely on you not recognizing their methods. Knowledge destroys their primary advantage. When you understand their playbook, you can spot the patterns before they establish control. Developing predator immunity requires building psychological strength in areas they typically exploit. Strong boundaries make you uninteresting to predators because boundary violations no longer work. Healthy support networks provide reality checks that make gaslighting ineffective. Self-worth that doesn't depend on external validation eliminates their primary control mechanism. Most importantly, trust your instincts when something feels wrong. Predators are skilled at providing logical explanations for your discomfort, but your unconscious mind often recognizes danger before your conscious mind can articulate why. That feeling that something is off about someone is often accurate. Don't let them convince you otherwise. Remember Machiavelli's warning about human nature. Some people are natural predators who see others as prey. This isn't paranoia, it's reality. But awareness doesn't require fear. Understanding how they hunt means you can protect yourself while still maintaining your capacity for trust, love, and human connection. The difference between prey and predator isn't cruelty or manipulation. It's knowledge. Predators succeed because most people don't understand how hunting works. But you do now. You've seen behind their masks, learned their methods, and discovered their weaknesses. They can smell vulnerability, but strength has its own scent too. And nothing repels a predator faster than prey that refuses to be hunted. Stay aware, stay strong, and never forget, in the human jungle, knowledge is the ultimate predator repellent.